In this video, I ask, who is Shadespire even for? Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. So as the end of the year draws ever closer, and whilst the rest of 2017 looks decidedly Warhammer 40k like from a Games Workshop point of view, the launch of Warhammer Underworlds Shadespire comes even closer. Now when Shadespire was announced back in March at Adepticon, it was met with a mixture of surprise, confusion and excitement. Some folks thought it might be the new version of Mordheim, some thought it was Age of Sigmar Skirmish, and others just opened their wallets and said, "Shut up and take my money." Whatever your opinion, the demos at Adepticon at least put minds to rest about what it was, and we saw it was a two-player, board-based competitive game with Age of Sigmar miniatures. It was touted back then that it was trying to steal back from the X-Wing crowd, the players that had moved over to a competitive, small-scale game and tried to entice Magic the Gathering players back over to miniatures too. Either way, we saw a glimpse of what it was about, and the sad thing is, one of the biggest talking points at the time was that there was a female Stormcast Eternal. I'm sure Stormcast Eternals could conceivably be female inside that golden armour, however it's not until we make it armour with breasts and make them lose a few pounds does it actually confirm this. However, I digress. Since March, we've not heard that much more information about that initial launch. We've had some news about the Death Rattle faction, but other than that, Games Workshop has been very tight-lipped about the whole thing. Someone reminded me about this the other day, and it did get me thinking, hence this video, who exactly is this game aimed at? So I touched on before about trying to win over the Star Wars X-Wing crowd. I understand why they'd want a piece of this. It's now the most popular miniatures game, and it appears to be growing with every new release. It's easy to get into, and the assembled, painted ships make it very accessible to anyone to just pick it up and play it. Now, as far as I know, Shadespire won't ship with assembled or painted miniatures. Even if they're the easy to build, almost snap-fit models that we see in the GW starter kits, there'll still be an element of hobbying to do. One of the attractions of X-Wing, other than the very obvious Star Wars license, is the fact that it's pick up and play. This out-of-the-box mentality is driving a lot of other games at the minute too. Guild Ball creator Matt Hart has spoken on many occasions about what he calls the Christmas morning test. How long does it take little Johnny on Christmas morning to go from unboxing to playing his brand new game? If that takes days of clipping and gluing and painting before he can do anything, then that fails the Christmas morning test. The Guild Ball starter set comes with pre-assembled coloured plastic miniatures, which means that you're playing straight away and it's obvious who is on which side. Mantic's The Walking Dead All Out War comes with assembled models that you can begin playing straight out of the box. Of course, board games have done this forever. However, as the miniatures become more and more elaborate, they still come assembled. Just look at games such as Dark Souls or Descent or Conan as examples. I'm not sure that the idea of building your models before you play really fits that crowd. Then you have the Magic crowd. Now, I've never actually played Magic the Gathering, so my knowledge is limited on this. However, I do know that it's all about deck building, and that links with Shadespire's card mechanic. The issue is, again, we now expect the Magic players to start building miniatures, and if that's not what they're interested in, then what's the reason to change? That's why I feel like Shadespire falls into the crack in the ground somewhere between everything. It's not technically a board game, it's not a collectible card game, it's not really a miniature war game as such either. To me, the closest thing is Gore Chosen, which is a board game with Citadel miniatures, where you could buy new champions to play from the existing range. Now I have to say, we haven't seen any more info in a while, and all of this may change. However, the question still remains, who exactly is Shadespire for? Is this a game that you folks are interested in? Is it something you're looking at and really looking forward to it coming out? Or is it something that you're just not the slightest bit interested in? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below so we can have a chat about it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. Please leave a like rating if you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.